All right, so let's deploy the API to DigitalOcean. So you have already signed up, right? So once you sign up, let's go and click on the button to create a droplet. So let's go. All right, so I'm logged in. I have lots of domains here. None of them are actually working at the moment, but you may not see any domains here. That's all right. So what you can do is you can click on this button and then create a droplet. Droplets basically a cloud servers. So you're creating servers in the cloud. All right, so choose your region, whichever you are nearby. Maybe I will use Sydney, but if you're near any of these locations in India, Bangalore, Germany, anywhere, just use that. Okay, then Ubuntu, this is the one we're using. And then here, if you want to self-host your MongoDB instead of using Mongo Atlas, maybe you don't want to pay them because you have your own server, then you can definitely run MongoDB locally. If you want to do that, make sure to choose the right Ubuntu version, because the later versions have so many issues to trying to install your own MongoDB. All right, so if you have a look into my guide, this one, it will show you. Go through all the steps to create a droplet. Important, make sure to choose the Ubuntu version 20.04 so that you can install MongoDB later. This is really important, so make sure we use the version 20. So here, that's 24 currently, we're gonna use 20. That's 20.04. And here you can choose the size. We're gonna go for the basic one, and premium, regular. Maybe we'll go for regular because I want to go for the cheapest option. Maybe this one, right? Yeah, that's the cheapest one. So click on the regular and pick the $4 one. All right, but if your project grows, you can upgrade later. It's a little bit of a hassle, but you can always Google the the DigitalOcean upgrade guide. You can Google and easily you can do that. You just have to it will be offline for a while, but that's it. Okay, so we're gonna go with the cheapest one, and then this might cost, so I'm not gonna do that. Create a root password and remember this one. Okay, every time you want to log into DigitalOcean via SSH, so we're going to use the command line terminal to push the code. So you will always need this password, so to make sure you remember this one. Okay, all right. Okay, as long as it's free, let's take that one droplet. You can give it a name. And let's go ahead and create a droplet. All right, so it has been created. This is the IP address. All right, so this is where our application will be live, and later of course you can add a domain as well, but until you do that, this is where you can access your API. All right, so let me copy that, paste here. If you try, you don't see anything at the moment. That's all right. Okay, so this is the IP address, and you already know the password. So let's see what else the guide says. All right, so you get the API. Now you can log in with SSH. So SSH root at followed by the IP address. All right, so let's do that. SSH root at your IP address and hit enter. Yes, type yes, hit enter. Okay, so it has been added. Now password, whatever you typed in before in the DigitalOcean, just enter that. Hit enter. All right, great. We have accessed the droplet, you see we're already inside. Okay, beautiful. What else we have to do next? Okay, so we have to now create NGINX server, and for that, this is the command you can run. Or if you want, you can always DigitalOcean how to install NGINX. You can always Google like that. All right, just letting you know, because if something changes in future, you know where to go. All right, Y, enter. Okay, while it's happening, let's have a look here. So it will ask you to, okay, so that's all good. Once it is installed, we want to go there and make some changes in the default file. All right, because we will run our API in /API. Okay, so the domain name, at the moment we just have the IP address, that's fine. But later when you have a domain name, you may want to make your API available in /API, right? By the way, you already see we have the welcome page here. So on your domain name, you may want to make your API available on /API, right? So you can do that by adding this the location block, customizing the location block in your default file, and then later on the home page on the domain, you can run your front end, the React application. All right, so let's see if it is installed. Okay, that looks good. That's all done. Now let me just make it small. Oh, actually, let's make it small. Okay, so next one, we're going to navigate inside this. So cd space /etc /nginx /sites available. All right, and then if you hit ls, if you type ls, you see default file. So we're going to update this one because this is the code block we want to add. All right, so sudo vim, maybe we didn't even sudo, you just say vim default. All right, so that opens up. Now to edit this file, you need to press I. Okay, as soon as you press, you will notice the insert here. Now you can use up and down arrow keys to navigate. So press the down key, and then you see we have the server block. Inside server block, we need to find this location object, and we need to just modify that. All right, so let's go down here. You see we have this location block. Now what you want to do is instead of removing, let's just comment it out. Okay, so shift and the hash, so we just comment it out like this, shift and hash. All right, so the location has been commented out. Now we can just copy this. So this means your API is running on port 8000. All right, so in your server code, if you have a look here, I'm running on the port 8000. If you have it something different, you should change this. Okay, so let's copy that and go here and just paste that here. Okay, so we commented out the previous location block and we added our own, and this one basically has added /API because we want our API to run on domain name /API. Okay, and once you do that, you can save, and you see it's a Vim. It's a little bit difficult to use, so just read it carefully. To save, you have to press escape key in your keyboard, then type : followed by the WQ and hit enter. All right, so escape : WQ enter. All right, so that's done. Now to make sure there was no typos or anything, you can run this sudo nginx -t test, and test is okay, syntax, everything looks okay, perfect. Okay, what next? Now we need to make sure to restart NGINX to make that change effect, to make it effective. All right, so paste that, restart Yeah, we see that. Now we have already pushed our code to GitHub. That means we can just pull the code from there. Okay, so we can do that in the root directory. So it's cd, go to the root directory. So it's root real estate marketplace API. That's the name we gave to our droplet. Maybe we could have chosen a little bit shorter name, but that's all right. Okay, so here we're going to pull our code from GitHub. Sudo git clone followed by the URL. So let's go to GitHub, and then here, click here to your repository and click here to grab that URL, and then come here, and here we say git clone, paste that here. Okay, now if you just hit enter, that will create another folder by the name of this one. Now I don't really want that, so I'm going to just give it a own name. So hit space and then type the name. I'm going to call it server. All right, now if I have a look here, you see I have the server folder. If I go inside server, I have all the files. You see, that's great. So we have pulled the code from GitHub to DigitalOcean. Awesome. All right, so we have the code inside server folder, but a few files are missing. For example, env file is missing because that was git ignored. So we have to manually create that one. So let's do that. We can do vim.env. So create our own env file, press I to edit this file, and then we have to now write down all the environment variables we need. So pretty much everything we have here, we can use that. If you want to continue using Mongo Atlas, your existing URL, you can do that. All right, so let me just grab all of this. Let me actually open in a new file, paste that here, and I may want to make some change. For example, client URL. Maybe I want to change that to the IP address unless I have a domain. Alright, and that is this one. Okay, so let me grab that, replace this one with that, and that's all. Okay, so let me select all, copy, go to terminal and paste right here. All right, so we got the database, we got all that, we updated the URL. All right, so that all looks good. Obviously later you want to change this, to a domain name, and if we need to make any other change, we'll do that, but at the moment leave it. Okay, if you want to change the database URL, you can change that. We may install MongoDB locally and update this to use like this. All right, but at the moment let's save. So escape:/wq. All right, so our code is complete. We have the env file as well. Now the next thing we need is so we need to install Node.js.